with Coach Copeland and Coach Jones over at Sylacauga High School. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
And it's basketball season. Talk about it a little bit.
We open up Tuesday, November 14th, and we've been practicing and running and lifting since about August. So get in shape.
And you got Coach Jones with you, and Coach Jones, welcome again this season.
Good to be here.
I know you guys are both excited about Sylacauga High School basketball. What are we looking for as far as the season is concerned?
Well, we have been working really hard to get in shape, and we've been practicing the last 3 weeks.
Don't look at me when you say get in shape. Look at the camera. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Getting these guys in shape, and Coach Jones has been in charge of conditioning and done a really good job of getting these guys, and we really just run them really hard every day, so Monday through Friday. So,
Coach Jones, reflecting on last year's team and looking at this year's team, similarities?
Well, we lost some very valuable seniors that had different intangibles. But that's the great part of coaching. You have to take what you have coming back and make the most of what they can do, what they can bring. They bring different things to the game. This team will be a lot more athletic than last year's squad. Last year's squad, we had guys that could knock down three-pointers at any given time. We had several could do it. This year, not quite as many, so we'll try to intensify defensively and force people into turnovers and try and get points like that.
Coach Copeland, of course, head basketball coach. Coach Jones, his assistant over at Sylacauga High School. Coach Copeland, reflect on last year's team a little bit and the progress that you made last year, looking ahead to 2018.
We made a great run last year, and like Coach Jones said, we had some really valuable players that we're going to miss this year that really did well for us last year, and we got better throughout the season and just basically worked to get better for our area tournament and did a good job of being ready for it, and then going to the regional, playing two good teams in the regional and going to the Final Four after that.
Media Day is this Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes, sir. Our time is 10:45 to 11:15, boys and girls.
And you'll have some of the players there with you as well?
Yes, sir. We're bringing 3 seniors, Aaron Bryant, Luke Tankersley, and Jordan Robinson, to our Media Day.
Well, we're about 2 weeks away, Coach Jones, from the start of the season. Y'all talk a little bit about the early part of the season for Sylacauga High School.
Really, we're less than 2 weeks away. And the biggest thing that we try and stress daily is we know we're ready physically. We know that. We understand that. We want to be ready mentally, because the mental part of the game is just as important as the physical part.
Who do we open up with?
We open up with Central Coosa County on Tuesday, and then we have.
They've always got a great basketball
They
program.
always do. They always do. Got a new coach this year, Coach Freeman, and we're play at home on Tuesday and Friday, and then we go to Shelton State for the Capstone Classic in Tuscaloosa.
Who all's involved in that?
We play Ramsey first, Huffman.
Oh, some great basketball programs.
Hillcrest out of Tuscaloosa, are 3 of the big teams that's in it. Ramsey is who we open up with. So it's a very solid tournament, because we feel like Coach Jones said, we've got the guys coming back, and we've got we've pushed them in the preseason. Coaches, and I have pushed them in the preseason to get better and better shape, and we're doing that with our schedule as well.
Well, a lot of people look at the W and L's of the season, but in tournaments like this, you're trying to get better.
Go ahead.
We are. I was talking to Coach Copeland, and I was talking to last week, talking about basketball and the expectations of this team. And we did real well last year, but people, the community won't be satisfied with
what you've done for me lately.
That's right. So we're pushing real hard to surpass what we accomplished last year. And if we start out sluggish, it really won't be good for us. We need to get out of the gates running and not let up from that point.
You've hosted in years past a holiday tournament over at Sylacauga High School. Does that go on this year?
No, sir. We're going to Tuscaloosa. It's very difficult to get boys teams for that tournament because of football. They've actually pushed football playoffs back a week. So a lot of teams we've talked to when we've had it has said, well, we don't know what's going to happen with football. And they don't know if they're going to be able to make it, so they can't make a commitment to come over Thanksgiving.
What about during the holiday season of Christmas? Have we got anything going on
We're
there?
going to Hoover for the Big Orange Classic after Christmas.
Wow. So a busy time. These kids that are playing varsity basketball this season, how many guys you got coming back from last year? You may have talked about it already. And who are some others that you're looking to make a difference in this Aggie club?
Right now we have 13 guys on the varsity. 10 have been with us since August. 3 are in football, and when they get done, they're come to basketball. We've got 4 starters back that started last year that are coming back to the team.
That's fantastic.
That is. We'll have 8 seniors this year. We've added some guys from the JV. Coach Jones had the JV last year that went 24-1, and we've got a lot of those guys back.
Why did you lose one game last year? Come on, man.
We were at Hoover High School, which is rich in tradition when it comes to all sports. So we were playing on their home court, not to make any excuses, but we lost that game by 2 points. I think on a neutral court we could have easily won that game.
The importance of a solid JV team that you can look to in coming years to be a part of the varsity team.
Basketball is a game of skill, and when you've got a coach, no matter how low you can go, that's going to work on the skills and work on the things that you're going to use when you're on the varsity is always good. And Coach Jones did a great job last year with the JV, and working from the bottom up. We've got Coach Smith at the middle school who does a good job. We're trying to start 6th grade league this year, starting our 6th graders. So we're trying to build the foundation at the bottom to work their way up. So when they get to the varsity, that's the ultimate goal, is to get to the varsity and compete and do well on that level.
What are the expectations of this team once we get into area play? And it's a difficult area that you play in, and that's coming up.
Yes, sir. We've built our schedule around playing the tournament in Tuscaloosa and our early season schedule, playing Talladega, of getting ourselves better. And when you go to those games and go to those tournaments, you find out who's going to be the ones that's going to step forward, because the pressure gets on, because you're playing a very difficult team. So, and that's how you progress in the postseason, is being ready for those area games.
And the arenas are different in a lot of places you go. Some have the expanded arenas where the shooting may be a little more difficult, or the feel of the arena may be a little bit different. Coach Jones, how do you address that with your team?
Well, really, we try to pinpoint defensively. We try to teach defense. We try to coach defense. So if you can go out and stop teams from scoring or slow them down, that takes care of part of it. The other part is, throughout the game, you just have to find a way to put the ball in the basket.
And you see it often, and especially in regionals and finals, teams have just an atrocious time shooting the basketball.
Yes, sir. But we've got a guy named Desmond Jones that's moved up, and Caden Lunsford, some guys with some size to mix with what we had last year. We have a 6'8" kid named Shannon Grant who's going to be a sophomore that's going to be on the varsity. So we're kind of, when you get close to the rim, it doesn't really matter what's on the backdrop. Now on outside shots, yes, but when you're close to the rim, you should be able to finish those shots no matter what arena you're in. So
with the 4 starters coming back from last year, what is the expectation for this team in 2017-18?
Well, we went through this summer of a season of what we did last year and relying on that, and so therefore our summer wasn't very strong, and we went through that and of trying to convince these guys that what we did last year was great. It's good to reflect on, but it's over now.
Can't live on those accolades, can you?
No, and we started out our first summer game and we played Hoover, and I could tell when we walked out on the floor that it was, look at us, look what we did last year, and we got beat 25. And it took a while, and it's taken a while, and I think right now, since this summer to where we're at right now, I think we're a lot better mentally to where we were this summer, and we'll just have to see Tuesday night when we tip it off.
What is the coaching philosophy, I should say, of you two guys working together side by side every day?
To be honest with you, when I first got here, I had my own system, and I came in here and did it, and it didn't work out so well. And then my third year, I went to Coach Jones, and we talked about what has Sylacauga done in the past that's worked. And he's talked about Justin Martin and things that went on that he learned under, and he's brought in some of those things to our program that I've accepted because it's worked. And it's not an ego thing to say, no, this is the way we're going to do it. And it's been a combination of personalities. Coach Jones is his personality, I'm my personality, but taking those things and combining them into having a very good basketball program.
And Sylacauga got a beautiful basketball arena, and putting butts in the seats is an important part. And I know you want to take the time to invite everybody to come out and watch basketball.
We've actually are selling student passes to kids for $25, and if you pay $5 at the gate and you come to all home games, that's $50. But you get a T-shirt, $25 to get in. If an adult, just a regular season pass is $50. Or I'm sorry, it's $50 regular, but it's $40 on sale. And then we have the chairback seats on sale for $100,
right,
which gets you your permanent seat every night.
That's for $100.
For $100.
The entire season.
The entire 10 home games.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
No.
Coach Jones, this morning as we kind of wind things down, three things that you see along with Coach Copeland that Sylacauga must do to be successful this season.
Number one is defense. I've mentioned that earlier, and defense is very important.
We don't like to play defense, we like to shoot it.
But that's a cliche that defense wins championships, so we're going to kind of stick to that. Number two is maturity. We've got some guys that has the physical attributes, but they will have to play to a certain level of maturity for us to be successful. And number three, we'll need to love each other, care about each other. I was listening to Coach Copeland speak about Coach Martin, and Coach Martin was a one-of-a-kind guy. But you can't mention Coach Martin without mentioning Coach Douglas in the same sentence. And myself personally, I am so great. I'm grateful to have worked with the guy, have an opportunity to work with the guys of like Coach Copeland. Has no ego. The guy doesn't. He allows me to coach. He doesn't expect me to stand around and watch him coach. Cause if you love coaching, it's no fun watching. You want to get in there and coach.
Well, for sure, with games coming up against Childersburg.
Yes.
Games coming up against Talladega,
yes,
and some of these other teams that you're going to be playing against. It's all hands on deck, including those big guys that you're counting on this year.
Yes, sir. It's like Coach said. It's what are we going to do when the adversity hits? When it gets a little tough, whether it's in the game or whether it's a loss or whatever it is, you're looking to stick together through those tough times, and that's what we've got to be able to do. And you got 13 guys that play and 13 guys that want to be on that floor. But I've told them, and over again, we've got to make sure that we're all in this together, and you're happy for what that other guy's doing when he's on the floor.
And there's nothing like a Friday night or a Saturday or a Monday or a Tuesday, and you're in that arena and the seats are jam-packed and people are screaming and wanting the Aggies to do well, and I know that's what we're looking for this season as well.
Yes, sir. We've worked really hard in this preseason, and that's the reward if you've worked hard and to have those fans behind you and cheering.
Y'all have a website that you can go to get the schedule
We're
and stuff?
on Sylacauga Hoops is on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Join us on Facebook and the schedule's on there. So.
All right. Hey, thank you both for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach Copeland and Coach Jones from Sylacauga High School, the varsity basketball program is in good hands. We'll be watching that for you throughout the season. More Daybreak coming up after this.